What's up, guys? We are here with some Jets of Time action. It is I, the Acid Crab. I am joined with Zayden. Zayden, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I've got freshly brushed teeth, and I'm here to watch some incredible racers.
Absolutely. I think we're gonna have a good time. We have three of the best in the clash right now with Natorade, Phone, and I'm All In facing off in an epic showdown. My cat's excited too, it sounds like. And we're going to go ahead and send the go ahead to our runners here in the past and let them get started.
Yeah, they can be divas, but we will let them know it's time to start. These are past versions that we're waiting for here.
Yeah, and this should be a pretty good showcase. Lost Worlds is already kind of an exciting flag set with a lot of divergence uh, and a lot of different paths people can end up having to take. We're going to start off with this shop, this Melchior shop, with shelters and revives guaranteed. We're going to see everybody kind of stocking up in case we don't see those items again. And then we will be in to figure out where everybody's going to go at the start here. So, what are a couple of the openings that you kind of see people running in the Clash, Zayden?
Oh yeah, well, we have Ayla here, so people are going for the power tab. That makes sense. I've noticed that some people tend to skip that. Then they go right into the sewers. There's a few different entrances. But it looks like actually Phone, who's hanging out with us in chat today, is going a different route. So let's see.
Yeah, Nate grabbing some extra gear. I'm all in, heading deeper into the sewers for that far item. Can be impactful, and this seed it's a Robo Ribbon, so we'll find out if we have a Robot.
Ooh, the Robo Ribbon really helps Robo. Turns him into a bit of a speed monster in a good way.
Yeah, in Lost Worlds, speed is such a rare stat that like you kind of have to grab a hold of it when you run into it. Oh, and
Ooh,
thank you
and
for the
also
raid
thank you very
drinks,
much.
Glue.
Yes, all the raiders welcome in. This is a Chrono Trigger randomizer, and we're in the middle of a summer tournament right now. So feel free to watch along as we try our best to comment.
Phone heading in is going to be the first one to find Marl as our first character recruit. Now, in Lost Worlds,
Oh,
you only get access to 4 total characters, which means you kind of have to work with what you get. And so this seed, we're already getting a chance to look at some of our techs. We have a really good Ice 2, but it's late. We have a really good Slurp cut on Frog, which is not necessarily what you want to see. But
yeah. Now it looks like we know 3 of our characters, so that Robo Ribbon may not be in play, but still might be.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anybody goes to Dactyl, because a lot of times you're kind of checking that character to figure out if you can go get away without going. If you can, sometimes you can. Otherwise, like, a lot of times you have at least one guy on your team that could get replaced by a better
Of
member.
course. Ooh, Phone going to prehistory to check out what the stone is, and this is going to be a bit of a rando, so there might be a plus on it, giving us an effect.
Nate has finished up shopping and is now heading to that dome character right behind I'm All In.
Yeah, and so what I'm all in had just done is walk across those, I guess, debuggers, I think is what they're called. Buggers is what they're called. That way you don't activate that first mob pack there. Second mob pack there.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat little skip there.
Phone in Dactyl Nest with a very dangerous fight. So I have been burned by this before, which is why I always save right before going in there, because that winged ape is very, very dangerous.
Yeah, especially if you're going in with like Luca Robo Marl or something, or you haven't used techs yet to get into the tech menu instantly. can be really
Of
scary.
course.
I feel the same way
Nate,
about
seeing that we have Moral.
the fight that
Oh yeah?
Nate just did at the start of this room. That fight can be really scary with certain teams too. Like
Oh,
there
I
are
guess you're
times
right.
where I've
Yeah.
dropped a member there, or I've wiped there a couple times in official races. I'm all
Let's
in,
see.
running through the rat area, grab a few
Ooh,
more of these
phone.
high
Let's see
tier
if the skip
chests.
is about to be successful. One more try. And almost.
It's a really tight
Oh,
one
that
there.
looks good. Yeah. You can kind of tell when it's lined up, though, is sort of what I've been like figuring out over the last couple weeks. The
I'm all
second skip
in,
for
done with.
phone in the top right.
I'm all in, done with their
Ooh,
shopping,
very,
and
very
we'll be
nice.
deciding if they're heading up Dactyl, and we will get to find out it's Chrono up on Dactyl.
Oh. Chrono could be very good with Moral if they roll well with Spin Cut and Ice. That's sort of a fan favorite, especially with Luca out of play. No fire sword sort of deal.
Yeah, you've got interesting combinations here because you've got the idea of Chrono Ayla being good a lot of times. You have the idea of Frog Ayla being good if Leap Slash and Triple Kick rolled well, but if they didn't, it's not going to work out great between them. Like you have really interesting sets of characters here that you could make 2 or 3 good teams out of.
But with Nate finding a slash or two, which will give you, I believe, +3 speed, one of Chrono's top swords. So that will be very nice
Nate going
if he picks up
all the
Chrono.
way in to the forest maze to get all those chests. Phone is going to be the first one, it looks like, to head into a dungeon, but he turns around and goes away.
I have done that before. Sometimes you know what you want.
So anytime you're in this like under 10-minute period in a run is kind of where you really get to experiment with things in the start, and you really have a lot of options because you could spend this time looking for items like Nate has. You could spend this time kind of fleshing out a team and looking for items like I'm All In has, or you can look to kind of get in somewhere and start getting levels early, like it looks like Phone is heading to do.
Yeah, so Crab, how do you feel about the teams that they're assembling here? It looks like all 3 players are still using the same 3 characters. I can't tell if Phone has swapped in Chrono or not.
Yeah, it'll be
He
interesting.
has.
Chrono is very equipment based, but he also needs some of his text to roll good. The kind of neat thing about Chrono is like, depending on your team, you can kind of force him to be physical or magic based. Like if he rolls a crazy lightning 1, then all of a sudden you can make stuff happen with that. There's a rainbow and specs at the trading hut, so we're gonna
Oh.
see Phone head in to do that. That's what he's gonna spend the rest of this starting time doing. Nate, on the other hand, sprinting right into what he thinks will be a quick, easy boss check here for a team that doesn't have good AoEs yet.
Now, Crab, the thing about hunting in this sort of hunting area is that if you get the rainbow and you get the specs and you're behind, you could very quickly catch up, and we've seen that time and time again. So
Yeah,
it's just very
especially
interesting to see like the amount of grinding that can go into a team, you know?
yeah, it's wild how much time you can save just over the course of bosses, whether it be Tyranno Lair or in-game bosses like Twin Golems or the stuff in Black Omen, or even just like the mid-game bosses, like if you end up facing um, Nizbal, or you end up facing Mother Brain or Giga Gaia. Like those are all enemies that like you kind of have to be prepared for. And
Of course.
one good drop would put you in a much better spot for them. save
Looks
a
like
lot of
I'm all
time.
in is also making the same sort of choice about going to the hunting range.
Or
Forgot
hunt,
the name for
yeah.
a second. He's checking out Chrono. Lightning rolled. Is that a 20? Wow, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, so this is a rare instance where Volt Bite is probably, like, absolutely wild. Because Volt Bite has really low vanilla costs. It's Lightning 1, which I think is like a 3 cost spell. And then it's also Cat Attack, which I
Oh
think is
wow.
like a 4 cost. So when you get these techs that, like, they don't even have to roll good to be good. So it'll be interesting to
So
see if
if we
anything like
pretend
that
that
comes
lightning
out.
is 4, just for some easy math here, and it's a 20, that would be a 5x per normal lightning, assuming
Yeah,
it's 4, and
yeah,
the cost of 20. That is wild,
and then whatever the multiplier you're gaining for it to being a dual tech, for a lot of techs is 1.25.
of course. Ooh, Wayfaring Fox, good call out. Phone is fighting a new right now in the top right, which will give increased drops and also a special item that we will see.
Nate chopping away at these bits. They have a lot of health to have come in here with no AoE. I'm all in, deciding to take the frog fight. Get it the
Third
old-fashioned
eye.
way.
Oh, so Phone looks like Phone has a third eye, which I think is an evasion accessory, right? Not something you would typically equip.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to evade status effects, like obstacle. It does not give you a chance to evade, like, attacks, which is kind of funny. Nate
Also
gets
one of our
through.
racers here.
Yeah, Nate gets through that difficult boss fight there in the Guardian. Now I'm all in taking that new. Sensed that Phone did it and needed to take it on.
Wow. Frog is very strong as well. Did you catch what I'm all in has on Frog for that very strong attack?
I did not know.
About a 600 or 500 attack. Very strong.
There's the rainbow for Chrono. Yeah, Slurp Cut I know rolled, I think rolled 20 on Frog. Doesn't pair into a lot of things with Buff Deck Strike, but can be a nice single tech for the enemies you can use it on. Nate heading into the back, so this is showing, like, hunting range is very good and we've gotten very strong items out of it. We have spent quite a bit of time in there grabbing those items.
So Crab, just a very quick interlude for a second. So we see the panel there with the champion racers. So that was determined last year, correct?
Yes. Yes, at last SG Live tournament. And the next one has registration open now.
Oh, you
So
read my mind.
so if that's something you're interested in, getting into some competitive jets, join the Discord and you'll find all the info for that. Phone is up in Zeal, learning the scratching spot. He also is likely going to do the new fight and get the other speed tab while he's up here in this areas. So that's going to be awesome. Get him a bunch of tech points and 2 speed tabs. Nate finding a ruby knife for his trouble as I'm all in continues farming those hunting range items. Phone also grabbing the triple tech rock, which is not something you see grabbed as often. This is the this is the second of 3 rocks potentially available in Lost Worlds. getting a magic tab from the news scratching spot as Nate heads in to Son of Sun for his second dungeon, and I'm all in. Continues hammering away at the hunting range items, gearing up for a easier time the rest of the seed.
Yes. And sorry about that. My mouse had, I guess, lost power and it's not working. So I had to use the accessibility settings to tab back into the Discord and unmute myself. But I am back.
Welcome
So
back.
thank you. A little fraught, but we're fine now.
Phone on his way down from Zeal now. And heading to that new fight we talked about. It's a very dangerous new fight with the techs we have access to right now. But
speaking of dangerous.
Yeah, speaking of dangerous, Frog dropping on Nate's side and low HP, getting the quick heal and hammering back at that count, trying to hit 10 of the correct flame.
That was a great recovery, though. I believe Mara went down to sub 10, Frog went down, and as long as you can recover from that, you know, you generally have one flare, then you're fine. We have the new fight in the top right with Phone, which will give us, I believe, 90 tech points, which will go a very, very long way for dual techs and just any techs, really.
Now we have kind of bad techs for this, so we have to use Cyclone to hit 3 for almost half of their health, but not half of their health. Then we're going to haste Chrono to get those off a little quicker. The problem is the top ones are not close enough to hit with Cyclone, so we'll have to find a new strategy for that or use the other party members.
Let's see, the shop here in Algeti has Lapis, which is very nice.
Ooh, Frog dropping.
In more ways than one, because we have a Frog drop on the top right as well.
See, there's that Cyclone hitting 2 instead of all 3 of them up there.
I'm all in going into Aris Dome, it looks like.
Yeah, I think you're right. So heading in at 1652, a little ahead of Phone and a dungeon behind Nate. But nothing matters until you hit that last dungeon and you have go mode.
That's true. And Nate has the pendant, which will allow us to get some extra loot, depending on if our racers will, you know, take the time for that loot.
Nate
There's an easy sort of door right here, yeah.
Yeah, Nate immediately at least going to grab these 2. May or may not go into Eris. It's pretty rare for people to go all the way into Eris to get the door if you're not going in there anyway. But it's not completely unheard of.
And that was a trick that you yourself taught me, where you use the Enertron while the door is opening, so you get a heal while you're waiting for the animation for the door to open up. Save some time.
Absolutely. We see Phone hitting that free shelter with the Sweetwater, and then we'll be heading towards his first dungeon of the seed. Nate at least grabbing the second sealed door. We'll see if he uses that portal to go to the fair as well or not. Yeah, he does.
Fair, I think, is a nice option. You have, what is it, 3 different merchants here?
Yeah, I think you're right, and I also think, if I'm not mistaken, this seed has not had ethers anywhere. Algeti didn't have them, Zeal didn't have them, Prehistory didn't have them, the Future didn't have them. So getting access to the pendant is our first chance to buy ethers.
And you're right, Nate is taking advantage of that by getting a bunch of ethers at a low cost, 80. And there's 2 tents with ethers. Look at that.
How nifty. But yeah, this was a very scary seed for that reason. Because for a lot of the places you'd want to do first, like, not Reptite as much, you can get through Reptite without a lot of ethers, but like a dungeon like Mount Woe or Genodome is impossible without a stack of ethers. Not, you know what I mean? Like, it just is so costly to go up for those places. So a seed like this really kind of limits your decisions. And that's why I think I'm All In and Phone have spent so much time kind of gearing up. And heals.
Yeah, I've been there.
Heals are super important. We have Frog and Marl, so they're a little bit less important. But heals are just super important for how cheap of an item they are. If you ever run into heals for sale in any mode, buy a stack of 10. You will not regret dropping 100 gold to have them.
That's true. Very cheap and just good to have. And also some other ways to heal. I believe I learned this recently. Cure 2 is a way to heal.
Yep, and Cure on Frog.
I mean, we should clarify. When we say heal, we mean removing ailments, not necessarily just giving you more HP.
Exactly, yep, healing status. Alright, Nate is looking at Woe with his stack of ethers. Oh, and Kiss, pointed out in chat.
Yeah, good call out.
Kiss is
Nice.
a great option too.
I like the names of the enemies in this game. You have a lot of interesting ones. Then you just have Rat. It's just a rat.
Now hold on, because I'm sure these are frogs. Croaker. Wait, none of these are frogs except Rain Frog. I'm all in, getting rewarded with that ruby knife for clearing out that pesky guardian fight. So Nate's thinking here is he's done the 2 fastest checks, right? He doesn't have go mode, but he does have the pendant. That means that no matter what what dungeon he goes to, it cannot be a total waste, right? Like, unless it's just a go mode item you don't end up using. But he's guaranteed to get a go mode item for this. So
do you think he's choosing Woe for sort of the grind along the way as well?
Yeah, it's easier to gamble on Woe or Geno if you know the pendant isn't your reward. Because if you spend a bunch of time doing one of those big dungeons that nobody else ends up doing, and all you get is a pendant, it's bad news bears. So he is almost certainly coming up here to finish off his tech list, to try to hit his AoEs. Like, we know, I think Ice 2 rolled 15. 15 or 20 on Ice 2. And so,
I was trying to look at that earlier. It is strong, yes.
Yeah, so having that, like, we have to get to it on the tech list, but he'll get to it on Woe if he hasn't already. Which he probably hasn't, because the dungeons he's done have been short.
Now, another very close situation with Flare from I'm All In. This is sort of a dungeon, well, I don't know if you'd call it a dungeon, but a boss that you want to take on once you have some flame-resistant gear or you have some levels. Otherwise, you're going to get a guaranteed wipe with that first Flare.
Yeah, it can be bad news. You got to make sure you've got some HP. In a pinch, you can get through it with barriers or magic wall on Magus. And then if you're really strong, Tailspin can get you through it. But my problem with Tailspin is I find it a lot harder to keep track of how many hits I need on top of Tailspin. It's like kind of hard to do like a hybrid strat for it. Phone finishes up hunting range, grabs the shelter, as Nate begins his ascent up Mount Woe.
The ascent to Woe.
Yeah. I'm all in, hits the roulette here. And he's gotten enough hits. Oh, Phone is back to the hunting range. does
Yeah, but with a
not like
nice
the frogs.
cyclone that does clear fast.
I'm more laughing at the reaction in chat than what's actually happening.
Yeah, we have multiple racers in chat today. Thank you for joining us, as well as everyone else.
I'm all in finding that pendant. How will it play into his decision? Will it drag him to the fair to find ethers?
Let's see,
It
phone
looks like
checking tech
it
costs.
looks like it will. Oh, door first.
Now, Rainbow Hell -3. So maybe we should talk for a second about the sort of gear rando with the pluses and minuses. So this -3 is affecting, would it be the defense, or do we know what stats it's affecting?
Yeah, so usually it just means the stats overall are weaker. And -3, I think, means substantially weaker. And it might be a worse effect on a -3, because I think a +3 means it has a better effect, if I'm not mistaken. But somebody, I know Phone plays a ton of gear rando, and may have a little bit more insight on that. We see Nate deciding to take one of the Rebel fights. It's pretty tough with kind of the gear we have so far.
Phone trading in for Prism Specs, and then is this the second Prism Specs or the Rainbow? Second Prism Specs, and a third Prism Specs? Let's see here. Looks like, oh, for a speed tab. Oh, nope, needs to check again.
Someone in chat pointing out all three racers going different party compositions, and all three racers in chat as Natorade joins us.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, really interesting. So which of the three compositions do you like here, Crab, of these sort of three parties?
I like I'm All In's a lot. The reason being that Volt Bite, a really solid single target tech is so important. But on the other hand, you need a really good AoE too. You need kind of both types of damage. But I think you would get there. I like what I'm All In's doing too, heading into Reptite, clearing out these now that we have an AoE to do so.
I tend to have a lot of Marl Frog runs, so I'm a big fan of Glacier.
Glacier can be really good. And obviously Luca Marl is awesome because you only need Fire or Fire 2 to roll good, and Ice or Ice 2 to roll good. Like, if one of them rolls good, you can make something happen with it. But when the low ones roll good, Antipode 1 becomes like god tier.
Now, Crab, Evil Weevil in the bottom left with I'm All In. Is this because they are supporting Azala? Is that what makes them evil?
I think so, yeah. Also, they dug this cave.
Very fair point. Sort of an evil cave.
I think the designers of this cave were just big fans of Ender's Game. The buggers in there.
For blackmail +3.
Nate is about a quarter of the way, a third of the way up low here. He's taken this extra fight just to grab this chest. But if you're fast enough and you have a good enough AoE, that fight's really valuable too. But we do get a blackmail, which depending which go mode we get, could be massive for our end game if we end up in the Black Omen.
So that would be Zeal, I believe. Is that correct, Crab?
Correct, yep. Black males and blue males are super strong for Zeal too.
And it looks like Phone is going to be putting this damage to the test with the Prism Spec, so let's see here. 1000 lightning. And we have a 1300 ice too, so very quick work.
I'm all in. Should get through Reptite pretty nicely here. Now that he's got some good techs. Alright, Nate's, this sounds silly, but Nate's about halfway up this now. He's just going to grab a couple chests and then complete his ascent. He may or may not end up going for those extra 2 chests with the dangerous fight in front of him. We'll see if he goes for that. As Phone goes into the refrigerator and finds it's not working right. And I'm all in. Hammering away at Nizbil here.
Yeah, so using lightning on Nizbil will make Nizbil vulnerable to physical attacks. So we'll sort of see that. Unless the electricity is discharged, then you'll have to repeat the cycle.
So we're actually a little low on damage as I'm all in, except Chrono. Chrono hit for 1100 on his own. Chrono and Friends the first round hit for about 1100 combined. So here I would be holding off on pretty much anybody doing anything except Chrono. Nate heading up. He's got those extra chests. He's heading up to the last gargoyle fight at the top of where the save point is on the top of the mountain.
Yeah, and these gargoyles are... What is the speed value that you tend to aim for around here? Because they're pretty fast,
for 14,
right?
usually,
14.
to be safe, yeah. You can force it without 14, but you're playing... There's a couple fights you'll probably not stick around in very long.
So I'm all in with the Chrono Trigger.
Excellent find. Now that actually tells us quite a bit. We have Gino and Woe that we don't know as commentators. I'm All In has the most game info right now, but Nate is about to get a piece that I'm All In doesn't know.
Gaia, very fun boss to say.
It will either be the clone or the Dreamstone at the top of Woe here. And whatever it is, it will give I'm All In go mode. It might give Nate go mode.
Now you'll see the top right, Phone pushing an NPC to get them out of the way. I'm going to unveil this slide for the first time. That is my most hated NPC in all of Jets of Time. Just please get out of the way.
What about the
bothers
new,
me every time.
What about the new on the way to, is it on the way to Lavos Shell?
The new that just wants help with a scratched back?
No, the one that
no
says, like, if you want to confront the queen, go ahead. But he's just standing in your way when you walk up.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
I also have pretty big beef with Shala.
Oh, good one from top pack. With the Proto, you have to drag around Gino. Very finicky, I guess, escort mission in this game.
Shala did one thing wrong. Phone deciding to fight some mutants for a minute. Not crazy high tech point gains from this scary mutant fight. Let me tell you, you can't run from the mutant fight. So if it starts going downhill,
you can't.
You're just along for the ride down the hill.
They also have very fast speed, so I'm very afraid of them early game, and I tend to not return.
I don't like them. I prefer the Reptite fight, or if you really need the tech points, you could go downstairs to Reptite and fight the Reptites down there, and they're like 16 tech points. But the mutant fight's just scary, and it's not, like, it's scary for not a lot of gain, tech point-wise. It does give massive amounts of XP, so it gives a lot of levels. I just don't think levels are usually what you're missing in Lost Worlds. You're more focused on, like, you're almost gonna get the levels along the way. You need your techs as quick as possible.
Yes. And speaking of needing techs and getting tech points, these rebels are very good at that, right? They're
They
about
sh-
50 tech points?
I think they're 100.
Oh, 100.
Am I
Wow.
crazy? Are they 50? They're 50. I think they're 100
I think
vanilla.
they're 50. I'm thinking of our other Go mode.
Yeah, 100
Sorry, our other
vanilla.
mode, Gato Cup, where you can find them in that dungeon with Thomas Pop that I can't remember off the top of my head.
Giant's Claw.
Yes, Giant's Claw. There's 2 in there.
I'm all in, just got Volt Bite, and Nate just finished Giga Gaia. Putting both of them in a real nice spot. Volt Bite's a sleeper
Megasaur
hit.
taunting. It is sleeper. You have mentioned that to me a few times. Oh, and Giga Gaia gave the clone, so we know the clone is in Woe.
Yes, which means Nate doesn't have Go mode yet.
He does not.
Well, he's
we
almost
know that
certainly heading to Reptite.
we do know that I'm All In will likely be the first one getting Go mode because the clone is there and he has the Chrono Trigger.
Might be closer than you think. A Reptite layer where you don't need to fight anything extra and you one-shot everything is pretty quick. Giga Gaia can be a bit of a slog. We'll have to see how this goes.
That's a fair point. I'm not very
Nate will have to
proficient
take
in Woe.
3 fights in Reptite, the first of which is here, and then the boss, but he'll kill the boss very quick. But I'm all into making great time up the mountain too.
Oh, very strong Ice 2 by Nate in the top left. 1700.
Yeah, see, that's gonna get him through Nizbol in just a few hits.
Yeah, you're right.
Reptite is such an interesting dungeon because you can take it early to gain so much out of it, like extra tech points, extra XP, set up tech doubling, set up tech tripling if you just skip everything. But it's also, you can go to it later and smash your way through it.
Yeah,
Make
Poe's
it
gonna have
through
a
in
very
no time.
quick Nizbel on the top right. Probably be
Yeah.
over before we know it. What is the HP value in Nizbel? About 4K or something
I
like
want to
that?
say it's about 5. It's kind of what I usually estimate. About 0 now. Nate choosing to not skip that chest by bumping into that enemy. I like it. I'm all in fighting some gargoyles. Correction, I'm all in running away from some gargoyles on his way to Giga Gaia.
Oh, getting the quickest heal in the game with the sweet water here.
I wish she was a traveling soup merchant.
No soup for you.
No! No!
Some soup for you.
But I drank so much soup at a party one time I couldn't remember what happened.
Now, is that a real story?
No, that's Chrono's story.
Oh, you're right.
In the English version. Is that one of the differences between, like, is it just Skull Smash?
Oh, it's sort of like a
It's a-
translation.
It's a
to
difference
make it
between
more
the SNES
palatable.
and the DS, but I don't remember which one's which. But I know it's alcohol in the original, but it's soup. Yeah, Skull Smash in the DS is what it's called, which is a much better, like, you can tell exactly what it's supposed to be. But it's soup on the Super Nintendo. So you have a soup drinking competition, and then you all wake up and your stuff's gone.
You know, I'm so innocent. I never once considered that there was anything but soup, to be honest.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty common to have soup drinking competitions at parties.
Speaking of soup, let's see what soup with Son of Sun in the top right here. seems to be going down pretty fast.
You know, I don't mind Nate's team either, because you end up with ice. Like, the nice thing about Ayla Marl is you get cube toss and ice toss, and like one of them might have rolled good, and that's pretty nice.
Yes, the Prism specs, as Phone mentioned, not helpful here because we really need just 10 hits.
Yeah.
But it will be helpful
if you're gonna
very
farm,
soon.
if you're gonna farm 3 sets of Prism specs, you probably got to make some bold moves with, like, to take advantage of them. But we'll see how it pays off, because he is making up, like, he's not making up a lot of time on this particular boss, but he did make up time in Guardian. Aristone.
So Isbell is being demolished. I don't know, destroyed, whatever the word is.
Yeah, he is gone. What will our reward be?
Our reward is the Chrono Trigger, and we have a go mode at about 40 minutes.
Excellent. I'm all in, about to start that Giga Gaia boss that'll put him in the same go mode as Nate. As Phone goes up to collect his pendant.
This is typically the point where racers will do some final looting before going to their go mode, but we do know that Nate went early to the fair to get ethers and other things, so I'm thinking he feels prepared.
Yeah.
Now we'll see if Nate does the honorable and respectful thing by turning the new off as requested.
No way.
I know you don't do it, that's for sure.
Get back to work, new.
I've seen racers do the honorable and respectful thing, but we shall see.
Nah.
Sorry, we said we wouldn't argue about this today. That's my fault for bringing it up.
Phone is heading in to check the Eris chest, though. He knows he's gear starved. He only has 3 prism specs.
Oh, and Nate is both honorable and respectful. The creature is shut off.
Nate's disqualified from
hands.
the clash. I'm sorry, you heard it here.
Now the
y'all are gonna make me add a thing to the tracker that lets us know if you did it or not, just for Lost Worlds.
I mean, we have Chrono's cat, and
I
then
know.
also
I think I would have to ask I think I would have to ask the developers of Jets to put in a script for it to read, because I doubt it trips anything in the game.
Okay, Phone going to, is this prehistory? Or, no, this is, what is this, the Dark Ages? I always forget what this zone is called.
Yeah, this is Antiquity.
Antiquity, yes. Voltonic from Nate in the top left. That mod pack is especially hard for me to skip for some reason. The one that Nate just went by and that he'll reverse back on again.
The one in the doorway?
Oh. No, the one that is right here. I always forget whether you have to go up or down. Right there. You just have to go up instead of directly through or directly under.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm all in has a go mode right now. I want to call that out as well. Sorry.
Yeah, little does Phone know that I edited a bunch of his runs together, so at one point in his run, it just skips to another run, and he never gets go mode. It's just perpetual checks. Nate sprinting through Death's
Yeah,
Peak.
very
He is a
fast time
whole
here.
Death's Peak ahead of I'm All In right now. Which isn't a long dungeon.
It looks like
That's
Phone
pretty
is going
wild.
through Woe. I'm all in. We will see if they do the honorable and respectful thing.
See, this is a good play by Phone. Like, even if you don't know what's there, this is a
Yes.
dungeon where your prism specs shine, where you take minutes off of a time that the other runners spent here. Well, I really like the move to come up here.
Ooh, Divergence. Not the honorable and respectful thing by I'm all in. Two very different moves by two very different amazing racers.
Phone's not gonna use prism specs in WoW.
Now, something that I noticed, I don't run WoW very often in Lost Worlds. I tend to go to Genodome, but the boss fight is not here, correct? The, what do you call it? The Beast Rider with the two beasts?
Oh yeah, the mud imp, and yeah, and
Yes.
the beast. No, there is not a boss spot here. There has never been a boss spot here in Jets. Same as the other lava spawns on Death's Peak.
Oh, I sort of forgot about the other lava spawn. Where would
Yeah.
that be?
It's right after the cave. I'll point it out on I'm All In screen here in a minute.
Sure. Oh, right here where there's that big gap for a boss fight.
Yeah. Like after this whole section he's in right now. There's 3 spawns throughout the mountain. Phone making it up to Woe to begin his ascent as Nate takes out the Elder Lava, or the regular lava spawn, and will take us into our long cutscene before Black Omen.
Now, I think you told me in the past that this is a good time for you to refill a drink, go to the bathroom, spam the A button, because what is it, about a minute here
It's a
of a
minute and a
cutscene?
half.
A minute and a half,
Yeah,
wow.
I usually run a minute and a half cutscene from like the time I push the shell to the end of the cutscene. So the room Nate, I'm All In just finished, where like you leave the cave and there's that big opening, that's where one of them is, and I think there's one where that save point is too. Kind of in that second
Ooh,
room.
1600 Ice 2 from Phone in the top right.
That is awesome.
And some speed tabs as drops from these imps. That's going to be nice.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I'm All In definitely made up some time there, depending how this boss goes.
Oh,
He
wow,
is
yeah.
right
I
on
blinked
Nate's
and he's
tail.
already there.
Does go to show kind of how long this cutscene feels, though, because Nate,
Yeah.
like, still is a little bit ahead of Vin.
Let's see. Oh, a volt plate for 32. Jeez. That's quite the damage. Especially because we have to go through all of Black Omen after this, and we'll be getting a lot of level ups.
Yeah. So this is another one, this bubble hit, I think is another tech where the base values for it aren't very expensive. So it doesn't have to roll very high
Wow.
for it to be an effective single target. There's a
That was
few
a very
of those.
fast Lavos by Alan.
If you're playing in the Clash and you're trying to like kind of find weird little advantages you can get, research some of those mid-tier techs because they can come in clutch if you remember them and you can plan for them. Nate starting this laser fight as I'm All In starts the meme cutscene.
Now, Crab, if I wanted to play in a Jets of Time tournament, now where would I go?
I would go to the Jets of Time Discord.
That does seem like a logical place.
That's what I would do. as Nate
We're here to
walks
hear,
into
folks.
the Omen. I'm all in, darkening the sun. And continuing his cutscene as phone sprints up Woe, stopping for every chest.
A nice heal. Amaline in the cutscene. And these goons, I think, they absorb lightning and shadow, is that correct?
That is correct. So you always need to make sure that you have a plan for these enemies, because there's a couple enemies in here that absorb the same. And so it's always nice to come through here and have a plan for those enemies, whether it's Falcon Hit, whether it's Ice 2, whether it's Flare, Fire 2. Like, you gotta just have something for it.
I'm all in on the all-out offensive. You'll see probably a difference of about 1 screen or 2 screens in a few minutes, if I had to guess. Phone approaching the end of Woe. Using the speed tabs of Marl, a good candidate.
It's always just so hard to tell how far apart people are, because boss fights just make such a difference. And then when you have different parties like this, where like I'm all in has Chrono, Nate doesn't, but he has Frog. It's going to be really interesting to see how those team differences make a difference in these next few bosses.
Yeah, and as pointed out earlier, we have 3 separate teams, which I feel like doesn't happen that often from what I've seen. Usually players tend to converge around, the same 3 people.
No, and part of that is that Nate never got Chrono, so he didn't even look to see if Chrono was good. So that could be that's going to be the major reason. But the fact that Chrono has made both teams that have him means he rolled some good stuff. People recognized that he had a few good techs coming. He was going to be valuable for in-game bosses with lightning. Maybe he's got a good spin cut. But this was such a weird seed in power. Like, you started off feeling so weak, and I don't know that you felt strong by the end of it, but you felt competent by the end of it.
That does make sense. Now, what do you think is the safest AoE to clear sort of the Black Omen? Would it be Ice 2? Fire 2? Flare?
Whatever rolled good. Any of them will get you through it if they rolled good. But Flare, or like a really high Ice 2 or Fire 2. In a standard flag said I'd be looking for Fire 2 or Flare if it wasn't tech damage rando. Alright. And so for a minute we saw I'm all in and Nate both in that same panels room. And now we're gonna see them just barely a room apart here.
And I'm all in is going back and forth between the rooms, waiting for the eyeball to shut their eye. That way they can skip the fight. And a very clean skip of the second fight as well.
Absolutely.
The third fight is not skippable, though. You will have to run.
Yep. Or take it if you're brave.
That's true. You could take it. I'm not that brave, though.
I only do that if I've found, like, ultimate weapons for everybody. I'll take, and I need a few more tech points, I'll take it, but otherwise, I'm pretty hard-pressed.
Oh, another clean skip from the mutants.
Yeah.
That one's a little bit tricky for me
Nate
when I
missed
try
that
to run
one.
it.
So, I'm all in, making up a little bit of time there.
Yeah.
Nate, not Nate, Phone getting into the last gargoyle fight here before the save point.
Yes, and healing up very smartly. Yeah, and as you said, both Nate and I'm all in, both on the elevator. Very, very close.
We call that stereo elevators. You'll only
Stereo
see it
elevators?
here. Stereo elevators, yeah.
I was born in a time of mono elevators, so I might need that explained to me.
When will somebody finally make me a set of speakers where I need 3? And don't say a sub.
Ooh, Elixir. That's going to be great for Nate. And eventually everyone else. Another Elixir. 3 Elixirs!
That's enough elixirs.
Yeah, let's calm down with the Elixirs.
Let's calm it down.
That's a time seed. And
Zeal.
2 slasher 2s.
What did we find? Where Zeal keeps her elixirs?
I think we did.
Nate hitting that, I'm all in hitting that difficult skip where if you hesitate at the start of this room, you're doomed.
I'm making quick work of Giga Gaia. That last attack was about 3k. And another Ice 2. Averaging about 2k.
I'm all in getting robbed because that was a perfect skip of the robot room.
See, this is the point in Black Omen where I always forget there's a back half. I always get to the new room and I think I'm gonna phase Zeal, and then I go, oh, right, there's more.
This is the part where I start getting real confident in Black Omen usually, is once I get past the Zeal, like once I get past the shopping, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what fights to take, I know exactly what fights to run from. Like, it's easy, like, I've done this a billion times now.
Yes. And we have our third go mode with phone.
Go phone! Killing it out here.
Oh, that was a very clean enemy skip by Nate. In the first half.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
I honestly don't go for that chest because I feel I'm not practiced enough to go for it with how fast they go. And there's a gap where you can squeeze in, but I can never quite figure it out.
Do you make the skip to get through the door without hitting them?
I just kind of YOLO and hit the fight every time, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Because it's a little harder to
with
get
these
to
eyeballs.
the chest than to get to the door without triggering them.
Now, you know what I'm going to say here? Will phone be both respectful and honorable
No.
on race 3?
No.
You don't think so?
No way.
No? Okay.
No, phone hasn't been honorable before. He's a ruffian and a scoundrel. One room separating Nate and I'm all in.
Unlucky from I'm all in with that incognito fight. And very much like incognito mode for every browser, where you think everything is hidden, but it's actually not. These enemies, you can actually see their face a little bit.
That's true. I'm all in getting to the ruminators and doing exactly what I was talking about, going for the door. Now committing voodoo on the eyeballs to try to get them to close their eyes, as phone says.
Yeah, these eyes really annoy me. I'm getting to the point where I feel like I might just go for the run instead of doing sort of the skip where you run into them until their eyes close.
Yeah. Phone starting to climb up
Oh my
Death's
gosh.
Peak.
Crap, I think that was our 4th slasher 2 that Nate just picked up.
Excellent. We grow 2 more arms on Chrono and we're set.
Yeah, we got Gilgamesh in here, and we've got a party. Very clean skip by phone from that mob pack, where you have to sort of go into that enemy a little bit on the right.
Nate sprinting through this back half of Omen, not even using the visual reference to skip. Finding a Nova armor for his trouble.
Ooh, very clean my phone with that tree skip. That's a pretty difficult one. Where you have to run into the tree.
Oh, I love that skip. Nate is the first one to hit the first mutant fight in Black Omen.
Now, Crab, this Summer Clash does not have boss rando on it. So what sort of went into the decision process there?
So Lost Worlds is one of the oldest alternative modes in Jets. When I started, there were pretty much the regular category, and there was Lost Worlds. And Lost Worlds was kind of its own unique, old school kind of. Some of the side players played it, some of the good players played it. It was just very different from a normal run. And so I think what made me want to do that is, first of all, there's certain bosses that you can plan interesting strategies for if you know that they're there. That you can plan for, like with, I don't want to step on Nate's difficult mutant fight here too much, but the next mutant, for example, you only need to kill the top half of. So with tech damage rando, you end up with a lot more interesting tool sets to try to accomplish that. Maybe your best thing you can do that seed is haste Ayla and use tailspin that rolled high. And that's your best way to get through mutant, but you gotta get through it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. There's more strategy that goes into the fights that you can expect to be facing rather than a pure rando, where you're just going for sort of an aggregate, what's strong, or something like that.
If you walk into this room and you see it's Son of Sun, for example, you're probably not gonna reset to re-equip your stuff. But if you know Son of Sun is at the Sun Palace, you can plan for that before you even walk in the door. And that was an aspect I...
Huh.
Okay, I'm trying to go back live. Oh, I see what happened. All right, are we back, everyone? $101.20 on the timer, bet. All right, y'all, are we back?
It looks like we are back.
We're back with ads, so we'll let the ads play out for a few more seconds.
Yeah, let's hang out for a second. Is there a way that you could grab the Discord link and throw it in chat here? My mouse is a little bit wonky today.
Yes. My hard drive got full.
Oh.
So it threw a fit and stopped the stream.
Yeah. For anyone returning, we are back. We had an unexpected issue, but
sorry about
we're going to let ads play out and restart in about 2 minutes or so. We're back. Thank you all for returning, by the way.
There's a link for the Discord.
And thank you.
And we will get right back to it, hopefully before this storm hits. We got bad storms in my area. We're okay right now, but it was good that we got started early.
We are. Yes. It looks like most everyone has returned. Thank you very much for coming back. We appreciate it.
All right. And then is your Discord stream okay? You can see everything?
Yes, I can see everything, and I think we're all good.
Perfect. Sorry about that, everybody. Yes, one of the benefits of doing these restreams this way is that we get to do this. We can pause, we can go back if there's an issue. We can get right back into it as Nate continues this really difficult mutant fight. This mutant is the first wall of this go mode. The second mutant is the second wall.
And thus saying thank you for being here is the fourth wall. Wow, I'm on the edge of my seat over here. This is a very close fight.
It is. I love different teams.
Yes. 1700 Glacier versus a cube toss that is about, let's see. About 1,000.
Not bad. Not great, but
Yes,
it'll
but we
get you
do
through.
have Ayla being knocked out, which will cost 1 turn for Nate. Looks like Phone is going right into Black Omen.
It makes sense. He probably feels a little behind walking in at this time. But he's a very skilled runner with a very practiced end game. Anything can happen here, folks. Nate finishes off the mutant. Maintains his lead leaving this boss as I'm All In gets in some scary business. 2 members down, Ayla at half health. She goes for the tailspin and he gets the finish on Giga Mutant.
Wow, incredible.
Now you still need the bottom down too on this particular boss. The next one you don't. But he finishes
No
that
challenge
off too.
there.
That brings Nate to the elevator. What are we going to find on our second elevator? Everyone will get the same encounters on elevators. And we get a goon fight. You kind of like to see the goons. They have kind of high HP, but they give you 50 tech points. So...
yeah, at this point, your AoE is likely strong enough to clear them.
yeah, you might have to double tap sometimes. But we got it with Ice 2 this time. We're A-okay. If y'all like Lost Worlds action like this, but with a higher number on the seed, Seed 4 will get showcased on Saturday. And should be a pretty good time.
Oh, Saturday. I'm excited. I'll be there.
Yeah, I think that restream will be Natorade and Pyrexia.
Do we know who the racers are going to be on Saturday?
That... I'm not sure if I want to announce that.
Oh, okay. Keep your secrets.
I'll announce it. Yeah, I'll announce it. The racers for Seed 4 on the showcase are I'm All In, the AcidCrab, and Zhadn.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I can't believe this. Wow. Sorry for the leading question there.
And it should be a pretty good showcase. Nate and I'm All In on the same screen again as Phone heads into the eyeball room.
A good question by Snapple Stuff about counting damage. I would expect our experienced racers to be counting damage. Would you say that's correct, Crab?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. There are a handful of bosses that I keep really precise counts on, and then there's a lot of bosses I just kind of vibe. In that situation, it's kind of a matter of you think the fight was going to be over the attack before that. And so you're like, I hope I'm there, because if I'm not there, I'm starting over. And I'm making some different choices. So it's hard to say for sure. I'd have to hear it from I'm All In. But there are certainly runners that keep a precise damage count for every boss.
I'm not one of those runners. I go by vibes. But there are certain ones that I've learned, you know, what is important to count. Let's see,
Yes.
phone in the elevator right now.
So to answer chat, Pyrexia, this is an async race VOD. So the Lost Worlds Clash so far has been all async races until next week. But all the async races, we've tried to do showcases to showcase who won and 2 other runners. So it's going to be, this is a tight matchup between Nate, I'm All In, and Phone. We are still under an hour 10, folks, and we're already starting the second
Incredible
fight
timing.
with I'm All In right on Nate's heels.
And just to add to that, we do have all 3 racers in the chat today, and we did have an unexpected tech issue, so we are picking up from, you know, around the middle towards the end of the stream. So you can always go back and watch the other video for the first half.
I'm All In doing what may end up being the final equipments. Now, we didn't mention it when it was picked up, but there was a haste dress earlier in the seed that was found. That has been popped on Ayla or Marl for these people here. These players. Phone heading into kind of the back area behind the new shop, on the back half of the Omen here, heading towards the elevators and the first mutant. As Nate continues this mutant fight, and I'm All In starts it. This mutant here, I think, is one of the biggest walls in this go mode. This guy can mess your day up if you are not fast and you're not doing good damage, or you're vulnerable to status. It can put you in a really bad spot.
See Blackrock, Sonic Arrow.
Yes, that is our 3rd chance to get a rock in the seed.
Oh, is there always a rock in that chest?
Yes.
I don't think I picked that up before.
That rock is why Rock Hunt, the mode where you try to find all the rocks, is not a good mode. It would be a good mode if it was in the future somewhere that wasn't in a go-mode dungeon.
That does make sense.
Wow, we have like less than a 20-second difference between our runners right now, according to timing.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Glacier coming out, at least getting looked at on Nate's side. He decides to haste first. He's going to get the haste on Marl. He already has the haste on Ayla. That's going to let him start tail spinning and then probably ice.
Oh no. An unfortunate chrono being down from I'm All In. But he's up very, very fast.
Phone is using the visual references for that skip and finds himself that Nova armor. And
They are nice references.
My cat fell off the table.
Oh! Bit of a live update. Hopefully your cat is okay.
Yeah, he's just dumb. Nate just keeping everyone healthy. Ayla dropping to 18 health, getting off the elixir right before the destruction zone hits. As Phone starts that first mutant, and I'm All In continues that Elder Lavo spawn. He's using Drill Kick for 3600, I think is what that tech is. I might have the name wrong.
Oh no.
Ayla dropping, taking a short recess, and I'm all in once again in a position where he's got to decide if he goes for the kill or if he goes for the heal.
Oh, we see Nate finishing first, pulling ahead.
Nate
I don't think
getting
I'm all
out.
in will be far behind.
I'm all in does decide to play it risky, and Chrono is gonna drop for it as Nate heads into the fight.
Oh, but he's going for the
save
ice.
point.
Oh no.
He must
But
know
Moral is safe.
he must feel like he's close. This fight's been going a minute.
Wow.
Really clutch.
A 661 ice to clutch it out.
I'm all in getting through that difficult Elder Lavo spawn with these weird tech sets we have.
Yeah, talk about I'm all impressed.
If I time you out.
Sorry about that.
No. Nate taking a final look at his gear, get himself geared up as Phone heads for that elevator that we all know and love. Alright, Nate heads into the final boss gauntlet first as I'm all in hits the last save point. Not a lot of time between them here. Probably about a minute. And with different teams and different tools, these next 3 fights could be
Anything
very
can happen.
different. Yeah. Even Phone on that elevator on his way. He knows everything between him and the end. We're only at 114.
We've seen it time and time again. Anything can happen.
Everybody show me your favorite Chrono or Chrono Trigger or Chrono Cross emote in chat. As Nate gets halationed and I'm all in starts the ZL1 fight.
Ooh, very nice. So is that the menu exploit skip right there?
Yes, yes. So you get an opportunity
Maybe
to
not
do
skip,
it.
but exploit.
You get to do the menu glitch in between ZL1 and Mammon Machine, which is nice, and she leaves you at 1 HP.
So I learned this recently. Sorry, but the Gado Cup is a little bit more forgiving with that window, whereas Lost Worlds is more of a strict time for that exploit. But please go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Phone heading through that final enemy room before starting the 2 bosses we just saw. I'm all in and Nate fighting the Mutant and the Elder Levels. So Phone is right there. As I'm all in starts the Mammon Machine. Nate continues his assault on it. He's hammering away, looking for your best. Looking for your best techs. Glacier coming out on Nate's side for 32. A big point flare coming out. I'm all in trouble. Down to 1 party member. This has been his signature this
Oh my gosh.
seed. He cannot finish a boss without putting 2 of the guys on the ground first because it shows dominance.
Yeah, so this boss Mammon Machine has sort of a bide move in the beginning where it releases energy, and I believe that's sort of what is doing the damage here.
Yeah, and then that got him low, and then point flare. If you go a long time after the bide releases, These point
Okay.
flares start, and they get really scary.
Wow. Yeah, those are scary.
Yeah, they're really mean. Like, they're really mean. You can have a seed where you're like, oh, I'll be okay. I'll be better at Zeal than Mammoth Machine. But then you get to Mammoth Machine and, like, this happens. But I'm all in, handling it well with good recovery. And does have a really good team for Zeal 2. Nate losing Frog at the start of the Zeal 2 fight is going to put him in a little bit of a heal loop as well. Both of these guys getting in heal loops is giving Phone time to get through bosses. We see that mutant already down. Now we see Lavo spawn getting
and I did spy
something.
some Nova armor, and Phone has the rainbow and 3 prism specs, so it will be fast.
Alright, we see Nate getting haste off. You're in such a damage race in this Zeal fight. You just have to hammer away. You have to keep everybody healthy, but you can't afford to waste a lot of time doing it. You've got to make
you really have
bold
to do
decisions
the
and
damage
go for
race.
But he's got good damage at 3k. I'm all in starting that fight too. Phone is through the Elder Lava spawn. That's going to take him
And
to
Nate
the final
with the
save point.
Nate with the, I assume the blackmail that is healing Marl for shadow damage.
Yes. Out come the cube tosses. Now, I'm all in is here. In this fight and is setting up. Ice Sword 2. A tech Nate does not have access to. And it's dealing 5,000 damage almost.
That is wild.
That is
it's hard to get up that high when
boost.
you're at about 120.
There's the halation from Zeal. That means we're halfway through this fight for I'm all in already. That's how quick this damage is going down.
And Phone entering as well. We're about to have a Zeal 1 in the top right.
We are at 1 hour 20 minutes. And we will have to see who is going to take this, because we see another, at least a third 5k hit from I'm All In on a 20k HP boss spot here, y'all. Nate getting a heavy hit. That's the kill for Nate. At 1:20:25, I'm All In continuing the fight, getting off that
Incredible.
Ice Sword 2. And this should be the fourth one of the fight, this should put him over the threshold. As he finishes,
think I'm All In is far behind.
20 seconds behind
Wow. 20 seconds. Now that's the difference of so many different things. Menuing, encounter, clearing, could be anything.
Yeah, heal loops at the end. Like, everything plays into it. That is a wild finish. As Phone finishes off that boss. And we'll head into the next one.
Well, this was a great time. $120, a very good time in Lost Worlds.
Yeah, we've had some wild close finishes throughout this clash. And this was a really tough seed. It really was. No ethers in the first chunk of the seed until Pendant. which I don't know if Phone ever got ethers.
You're going to see Arc Impulse here. I imagine this is going to be strong.
Might have bought
65!
mid-ethers.
Wow. Did you see that? 6,500 Arc Impulse?
That's pretty good.
So that is what was allowing him to catch up.
That gets us into Halation. Now, something you'll hear Phone talk about is sometimes these big damage numbers can be used to push you past certain thresholds, like the Halation threshold. But you can also do
That was
things...
a 2-turn Halation.
You can also do things where maybe you hit with one of those, and then you hit for something you know hits for like 3,500 or 3,000.
Oh no, Marl's down.
Get it just below that 10k, and then smash
Oh
for
no,
the 6.
Chrono is down.
Everybody is close. Frog taking the
Oh,
heal from the shot.
My heart was dropping.
And healing, or reviving Marl before taking the lightning move, and that's going to drop Frog. Luckily, we have a good way out of this. We can do life 2 onto Chrono, and then if Chrono's ATB comes up before Marl's, you life 1 Frog. Or you go for the Ice 2 kill.
Yeah, I tend to forget that Chrono has the life. Very valuable to have 2 lives on your team.
2 lives on your team is like god tier. But the Mega Elixir lets him immediately get back into the fray without worrying about getting Frog up because he knows the Ice Swords will finish. So he's going to push through and get this.
Yeah, he's already dealt 2 6,500s. That's what, 1,300? This is a... is it 20,000 that can't do damage boss?
20, yeah. So even with all that difference in the early game between Phone and the other runners, we see him finishing within 4 minutes after getting go mode
was 65.
much later. So really
that was
good gear.
3-turn.
Yeah.
Wow, very good gear. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. Really strong
yeah,
finishes
Phone with
from
3
everybody.
turns. A 3-turn Zeal. I'm impressed.
And to have runners so close to each other in such a difficult seed that kind of forced you to go one way, and else you went to Geno. But Geno was such a difficult play without those early game ethers. So it's hard. But all of our runners have pushed through and got good times. We will have the Seed 4 showcase for the Lost Worlds Clash coming up on Saturday. We'll be watching for info on the Discord about that. And then there will be live races of the Clash coming up as well. So hopefully everybody has a fantastic night. I hope Zhadn had a good time doing commentary with me. I appreciate you hopping on with me.
Of course, I had a great time. And thank you everyone for sticking around and for the raids earlier and just being here.
Yeah, we will catch you all for some more Jets of Time action coming real soon. Good luck.